Yo, what's going on, guys? Happy Thursday. Good morning to you. Happy to have you on here. Let's get ready to get to work. A lot to go over today. All right. So, first things first, I might have to bow, not early or anything like that, but just for a few minutes later on in the morning here, probably closer to 10, maybe. Who knows? Just for a few minutes, real quick. I'll just be out of here. The screens will stay up and whatnot. And then I'll be right back. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and jump on over here to the daily chart. Yesterday, I have a trade to go over with you guys. Yesterday, remember how I told you I was going to hold on to stuff like, mentally and the capital in the account for the afternoon? That's exactly what I did. Afternoon, I came in, took two trades. First trade was red trade. It erased my morning's profits and put me red by like 100 something bucks. No big deal. But then I caught a second trade. And that second trade, boom, monster, right? Finished up the day up over 1,400 bucks. Banger of a day. So really happy with that. Now, I'm pretty sure I recorded the trade. So we'll probably be able to go over that one later today. Now, today I only have SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, and futures on watch. It just could be a little bit choppy, man. It could be a little bit choppy. The move that we had in the market yesterday, I think, was a little bit of an exaggeration of a move, to be honest. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration of a move to the downside. And I mean, that's just nasty. All right. I caught the upside move and bailed. And then a little while later, it failed. And honestly, I didn't think it was going to fail that much. I was listening to Jerome Powell talk, and I could see why his verbiage was making the market decline some. I just felt it was a little bit of an overreaction. And I think we were starting to see the market maybe absorb a little bit of that overreaction here today as we try to hold that 200-day moving average on the SPY on the daily chart. And that's what I'm looking for as an area of support for bounce plays today. We've already bounced back way more than I would have expected so far this morning. Yeah, we've already bounced back some. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking for this 395 to hold resistance, top resistance 400, bottom support, this 200-day moving average in the 392s. If at some point we break under 392, then I'm watching for a drop that could, damn, man, at that point, I wouldn't be surprised to see us get down here at 385 and just have another gargantuan downside day. That's what I'm looking at. I'm a little apprehensive because we're right back smack dab in the middle of the chop zone. So I'm a little apprehensive today, guys. All right. I'll show you yesterday's trade. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I got it recorded. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. Do I have it? Where'd it go? Yes, I have it recorded. Bang. All right. Hell yeah. So I have it recorded. So at least we can go over that one later, if anything. But yeah, I'm a little apprehensive today. Okay. Just not sure what's going to go, how the market's going to digest this. Tesla, same thing, stuck between 200 and 190. Right, I'm expecting to trade inside that channel. If it breaks under 190, I expect it to drop into 185, 184. If it breaks up over 200, I expect it to move towards 210. Doesn't get any simpler. Okay, Nvidia, guys, are you serious? Look at Nvidia's chart. It's like nothing happened. Nvidia is like, what are you guys talking about? What market crash? Nvidia's trading like it wasn't at $110 just a few months ago. Absolute insanity. I think this stock is way overbought, way overbought. I'm not saying I'm bearish Nvidia in the long term. I'm not saying I don't like the company. I mean, I like the company. I have no long-term position in it. I have long-term position in AMD. I wish I had a freaking Nvidia, bro. Are you kidding me? From $110 to $280 almost already? It's ridiculous. 280 minor resistance, top resistance in that 290 zone right here. You can see that. Plain as day, it was support. Bang, we broke underneath it. Market sells off a little bit. Bang, we bounce back into it, get destroyed all the way back down to 110. Honestly, I don't know that you see Nvidia back at 110 or freaking A, man. That's just crazy. 150, yeah, 110. I don't know that you'll ever see that again. That's insanity, the move that this thing has done. Anyways, looking at that 290 area for resistance for a fader, back on down some. And I'm just going to keep Nvidia on watch the entire rest of the year. If I ever get it back down here, I'll definitely be scooping up some for the long-term investment. All right. So keep an eye on that. So yeah, Nvidia watching 280 minor resistance, 290 major resistance to see if you get faders off that. This freaking Nvidia is insane, guys. So yeah, my main focus will be those along with futures. Let's hop on over to that 60-minute chart on the futures. Let's move this up here. Looking at this 4,000 resistance. If 4,000 holds resistance, I will be looking short there for drops back on down. Previous level of support, previous level of resistance. And we're well on our way to test that right now, guys. All right. Good luck, everybody. Stay disciplined out there. Let's have a killer morning. The Beast, Dan. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. There we go. We got that push there into 4,000 land already. Yo, Bill, good morning. Happy to see you guys on here this morning. Wow, look at it go. SPY holding on to that 100-day moving average on the daily chart right now so far. Incredible gap up this morning on the SPY here. This 396 area could be a level of resistance this morning. So keep an eye on that. Guys, remember, any questions, don't hesitate. Throw them up in the chat box, as always. We broke up and over that resistance line I drew ever so slightly. I don't know. It's really good volume as well. Decent enough. Still in the face of it. Any new people watching the live stream, you can sign up for the watch list for free. It's been sent out already. There's the link in chat. And tomorrow is the last day to save 80% off on your prop firm account. Link in chat as well. That's a crazy move. Right off the bell like that, right into the face of 396 area. There's that 396. You see? Oh no, you don't see the 16. Sorry, the SPY chart. There's your 396 area, more or less, right? Support, 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 support. We're testing that level right now. Could be a level of resistance, guys. Definitely something to keep on watch there. I'm actually going to look for a little possible scalp here, guys. A little bit early, but I'm going to start looking to see if I can get it. We'll see if that 40.03 level can continue holding resistance on the ES. At least a little scalp, maybe back down to like 94-ish maybe, if it gives it to me. It's a higher risk one. We're so early in here, but could work out. We put in the first higher, lower high here in front of that resistance zone we drew on the 60-minute chart. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. I'm only giving up 3 points, in other words. It's worth a shot here. That is that 60-minute resistance on that 60-minute chart. Small size just to start it. Matthew, no, I have a house in the Keys though. I do live there part of the year. So I guess yes. I guess yes. But I'm not there now. Right now it's rented. I rent it out in the winter time and spring. No, come on. Give me that fill. Are you kidding me? How are you going to tap my order and not fill it? No, don't do me like that. How are you going to tap my order and not fill it? That is ridiculous. That is such a slap in the face. What? All right, I'll stop out break even. Screw that. I don't like that wick. That's a nice little. I'm actually a buyer there, right? I'm a low. That's a low volume pullback into support. Ah, that was whack as hell. I made made 25 bucks. Oh crap! That's actually a low volume pullback into a prior level of resistance, held as support. I love it. That's actually I would be a buyer there for a breakout up and over the highs. First take profit 40.03 zone would be my first take. I'd be long here, and I'd be taking profit off here and looking for a move, possibly to 40.10. I mean, it could chop around, you know, but that is literally a go-to setup for a long for me. So I had to exit there. I didn't exit at break even. I actually got a little small piece of profit. I got lunch money. I got lunch money. All right, guys, gonna go back to sitting on my hands here. Guys, if you see anything good, go ahead and call it out. Don't be shy. Also, if you don't mind, help me out there and slap that like button for me. You got about 300 and change people watching the live stream. We only got 20 likes. Do me a quick favor, guys. Hit that like button. It really helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. There we go. They're starting to come through. 22. Keep them coming, guys. This morning, like I said, I'm a little perplexed here. All right. I'm not sure. This is looking like a long setup now. I'm more neutral right now than anything. That's why I was just looking for that small scalp. I was looking for that small scalp. And I mean, I had my order out there. You guys saw it, my first cover. And we tapped it, man. We tapped it. That was like 3 points. That was decent. You know, a decent little scalp. Yesterday's trade, for example, my best take profit yesterday on the long setup in the afternoon during Jerome Powell's press conference was over 12 points. That was my best take profit. Right now, I can't get long here because I don't feel confident in that we're in front of that resistance zone. It's a big resistance zone right now. I don't feel confident with the long, but also the risk isn't terrible because you'd stop out under 97. Um, but I'm not confident in the short either. Why? Because we're in the chop zone, man. We're in the chop zone. We had a gargantuan move downward yesterday, and then today we get this pretty considerable gap up on the SPY. We're right in front of the face of that resistance. You know, it could still stay in the short, but I'm not trusting anything. And when I'm not trusting a long or a short, it's usually an indication that it's going to be choppy. And the choppiness, I don't do well in chop, man. Some people do, but I don't. I don't do well in chop. Most traders don't do well in chop. There you go. It got to my first take profit already. Finally, that's disheartening to see happen. But that's what happens in the chop zones. See, like theoretically now, I would expect us to get back down towards 88, 85, which is where I was going to try to get flat around 88. My last piece would have been a really good trade, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do it or not. Like I said, it feels really choppy. All right, guys, let's go take a quick look at some of the other names here. Let me make sure you can see my equities chart. Yep. Okay. AMD, nothing. Nvidia, nothing. Tesla. Tesla looks good for the long there if it gets over 98, which it's looking like it's on its way there. Like I said, very, very weird and choppy morning here. SMX leading, small cap copper. Oh, SVSA. That one made a little move here. It's not much. Oh, look at that move, guys. Look at that move on the ES. See why I exited? I'm telling you, man. Look at that. Look at the SPY. Look at the SPY. Look at the SPY. That's exactly what we're talking about, guys. The beast. Yeah, man. Can you believe it? That's why I was so happy yesterday when I caught that really nice trade in the afternoon. I can't wait to go over that trade with you guys here. I have it. I found the recording so we can go over it. Just chop, man. Just chop. And you got to be careful with the chop, guys. You really do, man. The chop, think about it. Once you figure out, right, and you have your strategy and you learn how to manage risk, the most important part of it all, in my opinion, learn how to control your emotions, you execute. And if you really step back and look at the bigger picture, you start to notice that your worst days, for the most part, come from choppy days. And those choppy days tend to be back to back, sometimes 2, 3, 4 days. I mean, hell, the beast, you remember, some of you guys remember, Dan, like what? Early February, the first 2 weeks of February were, were the most choppiest thing we have seen in probably months. And it's just really bad. It was really annoying. It was really, really bad. But you gotta recognize it, and then when you do, you have to. We did a lesson. Remember, guys, we did that lesson how to curve your expectations off of hot streaks, decrease risk, being more patient, being more selective, etc., etc. Yeah, Bill. No, I'm not gonna sweat it, man. I'm not gonna sweat it. Look, I was 100% right. It was looking more like a long, but I still couldn't trust it. And then we violated that little mini support zone, and then we took off and we pushed higher. Now we're at 408 zone. That 408 through 410 area is a potential strong resistance zone, but it could just be a choppy grinder back down, followed by another quick little pop with another 5, 6, 8 points to the upside. I mean, it's really good um, scalping environment, but I'm kind of tired of scalping, man. It's not really my forte. Nathan, good morning. Happy to see you. Did you go through that? Did you go through that beginner's course already, the free one? Bill says you read the market perfectly so far. Thank you very much, sir. Just gotta read the waters. You know, when we're out in the boat in the Keys fishing and stuff, reading the water is super important. People don't understand. You read the water. You read the water. You can see the differences in the water on the surface, on the waves. You know, couple that with looking at the sky, feeling the wind. Dude, you can literally, the wind shifts and the temperature drops a little bit, and you can already start to couple that together and be like, it's gonna rain. There's a storm nearby, etc., etc. And it could save you a lot of hassle. I've been in my fair share of storms on the water, on the boat, on multiple boats. I've almost even sank once on a smaller boat that a friend of mine owned when we were probably in our early 20s. We ended up calling for help and everything. It was a wild one. Maybe one of these days, guys. I got stories, man. There was one time. It was me and him again. Somehow all my stories end up with him and his small boat, a little 17-footer he had. Man, we fished the crap out of that boat. We were out in the middle of Biscayne Bay, and it was probably like 1, 2 in the morning in the middle of winter. It was pretty cold. Even for Miami, you know, out there on the ocean, it was cold, and it started to rain. I'll paraphrase it, right, and then maybe we'll do the full story some other day. We ended up running fast back to the ramp, and I had my pew pew out because it felt like somebody was chasing us because we could see them. It's just not a good scenario. It was not a good scenario for Miami at 2 in the morning, out in the middle of the bay, in a tiny ass little boat. It's a story. I don't even know if I want to. It's been enough years. Yeah, we could probably we gunned it home. Boom, where we disappeared. Off the scene, vanished, respawned in another lobby location. Guys, this chop. I mean, I'm telling you, you can scalp it. I'm not scalping a damn thing today. If all I see and read is scalp, 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 I'm not doing it. I scalped yesterday in the morning, and now I tried to do another little scalp here. I'm not scalping. Risk management. Gonna try to give you the bullet points. Okay. Obviously, I go much deeper into this in the curriculum step by step. The key to everything is learning it step by step. Risk management, it's a lot, but I'll try to give you the bullet points. You want to pick a dollar amount that you're willing to risk on every trade. 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 1,000 bucks. I don't know. You might be worth $50 million, and 1,000 bucks is it's the equivalent of 50 bucks to me. I don't know, 100 bucks to me. It doesn't matter, right? So you figure out what that dollar amount risk per trade is for you. And the way you figure that out is that dollar amount risk has to be an amount that if you lose it, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You go on about your day, you go to sleep at night, you wake up the next day, and you're not afraid to come sit at your desk and press buttons. Okay? So it has to be that dollar amount. In essence, it has to be a dollar amount that makes you feel almost like you're trading in a simulator. If you are not, how do I say this? You shouldn't be trading real money. I should have said this from the beginning. No one, in my opinion, should be trading real money until they've proven to be profitable in a simulated environment, in a simulator. Be it a simulator that you get or you buy or you trade for free online, or an evaluation account like the prop firm where you've passed it and you're proving to be profitable. Okay. Now, managing the risk, this holds true for the simulator, this holds true for your real account. You pick that dollar amount risk per trade and you stick to it on every trade. Okay? And then you have to have proper stop loss placement. Okay? Meaning your stop loss is not dictated by your size and your risk. Your stop loss is dictated by the chart pattern or the chart setup you are trading. Okay? And then your take profits are dictated by your chart pattern and your chart setup that you're trading. And then you put that on and you sit back and you let it work itself out. More so than me, for example. Right there and then, by what I'm telling you, you would have been stopped out for a loss there on that trade I just did. But as years go by, you tend to be able to read volume better. You tend to be able to read price action better. And at times, you are able to exit trades slightly earlier before they go against you. But that's going to come with experience. And you're not always right. And when that happens and you're wrong, you cannot allow FOMO to put you back into that trade. You got to be a big boy, a big girl, and be like, I was wrong. I deserve to lose the money, or I deserve to be out of the trade and watch it go without me. I deserve to be at break even. That's it. The only time I don't deserve to be red is when the platform had a glitch. Outside of that, if I'm wrong, I deserve to lose money. When I'm right, I deserve to make money. It's simple as it is. So I hope that answers your question. If it didn't, ask me another one. Okay, sounds good, Nathan. Yep, you got it, man. No worries at all. Um, I'm not sure what's going on. Jonal is the man to talk to for sure. I know you have been talking to him in the info email. I'm not sure why you can't access it. That's weird. I know there's people here in the stream that've gone through the course, like the Beast, Bill is going through it, and stuff like that. All right, guys, you see how it's just chopping around. I mean, the long setup has held true above that 4,000. And that's what we were talking about with the 4,000 area. Once we got up and over that, specifically that 403 zone, 4003. Now we're putting in higher lows and higher lows. It's looking long. It's looking long to 410. 410. I mean, honestly, the way we're going, I wouldn't be surprised to see a break. I'm not gonna get involved in this right now. Yep, go ahead and try it again. If anything, you know what, Nathan? I'll give you an idea. You can get your phone, or if you have a screen recording, a screen capture software, you can record what you're doing to try to enter into the course and then send that to us. Try to make it short, because otherwise the email won't come in. You can't, for the most part, you can't email like 5-10 minute long videos. And then that way, Jonal can see what's going on. I think that's a good idea. Bill, love it, man. I love it. All right, let's go take a quick look again at Nvidia just chopping around. Nothing. I mean, it's not even a surprise, guys. These things have made some monster moves here recently. Tesla having a hard time at 198, but they're holding up so well. The SPY's holding up really well so far, this gap up. Like I'm saying, man, I wouldn't be surprised to see a choppy morning, maybe directional move in the afternoon, or even worse yet, during lunch. But it's not a big deal, because what we'll do is, in a little while, I'll bring out the recording from yesterday's trade in the afternoon, from the afternoon trade, and then we'll recap that. Typically, the only times I trade in the afternoon is when we have big catalysts like that. FOMC meeting conclusion, Jerome Powell testifying, Jerome Powell press conferences, FOMC minutes, or anything else like that. Usually, that's the only time I trade in the afternoon. And once in a blue moon, if we're getting some nice directional moves in the afternoon, I'll get in there. But for the most part, in the afternoon, I don't trade. Usually, what you see here in the mornings is what I trade, and that's it. So, just the one trade so far this morning, 25 bucks. After commission, 17 bucks and change. I mean, that's lunch, you know what I'm saying? But yesterday afternoon's trade was banger, man. 1,400 bucks. That was really nice. That 396 area has held up the SPY some, man. A lot of wicks into that level. But it's like a 50-50 setup, man, right now. As easy as we can do this, we could literally do this. So that's why I'm on the sidelines. I have to be. It's the chop zone. Look at the daily chart. See? It's the chop zone. We're literally in the middle of yesterday's price action. Look at yesterday's candle. Look, this is yesterday's candle right here. The halfway point, more or less, of the candle. We're right in there. We're playing around in those price levels. Oh, give or take. Give or take. What the hell is that? I don't like to trade in that chop, man. What'll happen is you'll see people trading in that chop, and like one of you guys made it so clear yesterday or the day before, is that you'll see people trading the chop, and then they'll get mad because stop losses are getting fished out or traps are being set out, and then you have them say manipulation. I wonder if you're out there. Somebody wrote that the other day in chat. I don't remember if it was Jay or who, and they spelled it out perfectly. I loved it. And it's not. It's just that it's choppy. There's so much structure in there. You're going to have lots of chop. It's just what it is. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? Let's take a commercial break. What's the commercial break? I got you. Commercial break will be brought to you by Trade Ideas. 15% off with my code if you like those scanners for equities. This is why I trade both equities and futures, right? I mean, as a matter of fact, we have that FRC trade cooking, right? That's the one with leaps, or just about leaps. We're all the way back down here to 13 bucks. That's kind of sucky, but let me erase this. I want you to notice something here. We could have lower, more downside. I mean, remember, this company could go bankrupt. We have ourselves a bear flag formation. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. But if you wanted to actively trade around this position, you could trade puts on it and book some profits. And then either that profit is security, right, against your long setup here for 2024, or you flip that into more long. You know, it's up to you what you would do with that. I'm actually not, it's not a bad idea there. I might do it myself if I get enough time. And flip, flip some puts around here and there, flip some puts, and then just utilize that extra profit to make my call option trade on this basically a free trade. You know what I'm saying? Like if I nail a $400, $500 winner on this with a swing trade, then my call option trade, which are the $50 calls that I bought for January 19th, I think it is, of 2024, it would make that trade free. It would make that trade free. So that's why I like to trade both, Primarily, I like to trade futures the most. Numbers are coming out shortly. What do we got numbers today? Is it jobless? There we go. ES right to 40-10 zone, guys. Not surprised. New home sales. Previous was 633,000, forecasted at 650,000. Actual came in at 640,000. You'd love to see it. New home sales month over month was 1.1%. Previous was 1.8. I don't see what the expectation was though. I want to see this real estate market take a little dumpy, man. I know my net worth will take a little dumpy with it. That's perfectly fine because I need to buy more. Looking daily. Right now, I'm actually looking daily, and I'm gonna try to stay looking daily with me and my buddy. See if we get ourselves a big deal. Because look, my mindset. This is how it works for me. A percentage of something is more than a percentage of nothing. Okay. Now I can go out and buy myself $275,000 deal. I can go buy that like cash. Okay, and just collect that rent. Or I can partner up with my boy that is also a real estate investor, and we can go out there and get ourselves, we can leverage our money. We can go out there and get ourselves a $5, $6, $7, $800,000 deal that will make us really good money, especially as the years go by. So that's what we're looking at. So I'm looking daily. I'm looking daily. I started looking 2 days ago. Well, we went to go see that property on Friday, so I've been looking daily since then. Today's Thursday. Man, the weeks fly. The days go by too quickly. The weeks fly. The years a quarter over. It's insanity. So yeah, guys, percentage of something is always better than a percentage of nothing. Don't ever let greed keep you from growing. Yeah, actual 1.1, previous 1.8%. I don't see the forecast. And there you go. ES 40-11 zone. Incredible. It's like yesterday didn't happen. Yo, guys, thank you very much for hitting that like button. Like I said, helps out tremendously. We're starting to finally pull back away from that 40-10 zone. Maybe now is when we start to get some more downside, but now I have like major trust issues. Now is when I have major trust issues. Dan, I don't know if you're out there, man. I know you were here earlier. I already had my Cuban coffee, man. Wife prepared a little bit earlier today because she's heading on out with our daughter. Gonna go have some fun. I'm gonna stay here and try to get a trade on. Grinder of a morning, yes, sir. The King, how you doing out there, man? I know you're out there. I knew you were out there, Dan. Dan, I could have sworn that you were able to get one of those free memberships that Bill gifted. Man, I could have sworn I saw your name green the other day. Guess it was just my imagination. Cold coffee? Ugh. I feel for you, my man. I feel for you. 10:05 a.m. Guys, I'm gonna give it like another 5 minutes. I'm not gonna give it any minutes. Screw this. Let's bring out that trade from yesterday. Let's go over it. Oh, you were in a meeting? No. Yeah, he gave out a bunch of those the other day. I think he did like, I don't even know how many he did. I think he did like 10 of them. The 499 plan. Bill's the man. All right, so let's go over yesterday's afternoon trade because I'm not going to catch a trade on this, at least not now. The King says he still thinks he's 25. This is an incredibly short trade here. It was just 5 minutes. It was just 5 minutes. So we had the initial run up, right? And then, we pulled back. Jerome started talking. We had a knee-jerk reaction to the downside. And then we put in that wick down here at that 40-20 zone. I got a little bit mad at myself, not going to lie. Hold on. So this is yesterday afternoon's trade, right? So I got a little mad at myself, right? Because when Jerome started talking, we had that quick push pull down here. And we held that 40-20 zone. This is a zone we've talked about countless times here on the stream in the mornings, right? We held that 40-20 zone and we jumped right off of it. Could have been a good area to just bang in a longer. You're so close to stop. It was a no-brainer, but I didn't get it. So I said, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to sit here because the last thing I wanted to do was just chase it up here. I don't want to chase it up there. That's crazy talk. 40-50 zone, resistance, 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 right? Why am I going to do that? And that's what happens. FOMO will get you when you miss those entry opportunities at the levels you're eyeing, right? FOMO will get you. I was like, nope, not happening today. Get behind me, Satan. So I sat down. I stayed disciplined and I waited for my entry. We broke up and over 40-50. I'm listening to JP talk. I go ahead, get long in here, 40-53. My stop zone was, I'm sorry. I'm actually long on the breakup and over here in the 40-60. My stop zone was underneath this 40-55. Why? It was previous resistance here, right? So now I expect that level to hold some support. So I go ahead and get my long on, and I'm looking for the break through the highs. This is an amazing wick into that level. I'm listening to Jerome. I've traded enough FOMC meetings to know exactly what tends to happen here. And I'm looking for that extension. My final target was in that 40-80 zone. Okay. So let's click play. Let's see what it starts to look like. Wait, did the first take profit already hit? No. Okay. So here we go. I want you to notice, look at my stop zone. My stop zone is where? Underneath the resistance area. Now, I'll tell you right now, I felt that it was too tight. And I did try to bring it down just a tad because I was way too close to the support zone. Okay? And I meant support zone, not resistance area. It was prior resistance, obviously. So my stop is there underneath the support. We get down there into support and we get right off of it. You see that? We get right off of it. Look at that. When I see that, that to me is telling me, hey, you're right. So that support zone is going to hold. I add another contract. I put out another order. These are my hard stops. You can see how I placed that stop. I placed it just underneath that one. And I really wanted to move that one down some, but I didn't get a chance. This thing was moving so quickly. I needed to be paying attention. We get that quick push. I'm up 9 points. My first take profit, bang, right? I'm still in this. We're up 7 points. I'm starting to, put out my orders again and organize them properly. We're up 8 points, still in 3 contracts, looking for that extension. What I'm not a huge fan of, okay, right here, is that as we're pushing up, the volume is dropping. Very similar to the action we're seeing on the ES right now. That makes it harder to believe that we're going to continue extending. So let's go ahead and click the play button. Well, let's drag the cursor. 4073 is where I'm sitting at for my next take. We're up 11.5 points on these 2 remaining contracts. I already took 1 piece of profit off again. Look at that. We're testing. Boom, we get it. Banger. Awesome trade, right? Over 12 points of profit on that one. So now I set another stop zone for my one final remaining contract. And 4080 zones, 4075 to 4080, I know is a resistance zone based off of the chart. We start to struggle up there, and what happens? Look at the volume. Each and every time we pushed up on these new highs, the volume kept dropping, right? Drop. I don't like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here. And I exited out. Now, what happens afterwards? Let me show you. Talk about bail before the fail, guys. I got flat up here. Look at that drop. And then from there on down, the rest of it is history. We got all the way back down. I mean, we got all the way back down to like well under 4,000. So I couldn't have done any better. And what was the signal that told me? Once again, volume. Once again, it was volume that saved the day. Because when you analyze volume properly, you're able to mitigate your risk better. I went long when it broke. In this case, yes. I don't always do that, but in this case, yes. I went long when it broke. We broke out. I went long, set my stop. I said, let's go. Because I knew the momentum. I was hearing the man talk it's repetitive. It happens almost every time we have these meetings, right? Because there's so many algorithms out there, so many people trading. And when you hear those keywords and you get those pops through the resistance zone to the upside, they tend to have extension. But you got to be nimble and you got to watch the size you're trading. Okay, we finally had a little increase in volume right here. Finally. Because see, we were pushing, dropping, and then boom, we finally got a nice push and a nice increase. So we could continue higher, man. I mean, next resistance zone really isn't until the 4020s, which was yesterday's support zone there when FOMC concluded. Definitely a good scalper environment today, guys. Nice, Adriana. Congrats. Good job. Yep. Today's just a really good scalper environment. If you can get in there and have these, get in a good area, have a good stop zone, and just take your profits and not worry about if the thing rips. Because look, you could get long here earlier at 40.07, got in flat at 40.10, right? Or at 40.12 better, right? You could have done that. The damn thing could go to 40.25. You can't be mad. In other words, guys, you can't be mad. Our job is not to capture the entire move. Our job as traders is to identify a setup, manage our risk, and collect our profits. That's it. That's it. It's not our job to capture the whole move. It's not, you know? So if right now you have a scalper mentality, which is what I have right now, and I'm not really a big time scalper, just be happy when you catch your scalps. Just be happy when you trade your plan, period. Volume is the amount of shares and or contracts traded within the chart's time frame. So if you're in a 3 minute candle, right? Like, let me see, what are you guys seeing here? Okay, so if you're like right here, let's use this candle real quick. That candle, that's a 3 minute candle. Okay, this is the price action within 3 minutes. This is the volume bar that corresponds with that candle. That candle traded 616,000 shares of the SPY. That's the volume of that one candle. Now, the size of this candle has nothing to do with the size of the volume bar. It's just the amount of shares traded, or if you're watching like the ES, the amount of contracts traded. All right, guys, really nice straight grind. Nothing for me here, guys. No real pullbacks. No nothing. It's just a grinder. I don't like grinders. I'm not trading it. You have to know where your strength and your weaknesses are, and then you have to exercise upon them. I know this is not my strength, so I'm staying away from it. Simple as that. Why would I go in here and give back yesterday's profits or part of yesterday's profits? I'm not going to do that. Okay. So, some people on YouTube, they'll feel the pressure of having to trade because they got people watching. And they're like, oh, if I don't trade, they're going to think I don't know what I'm doing. No, you don't have to trade all the time. You don't. You have to trade when you get your setups and patterns. I don't have a setup or pattern that's for me, so I'm not trading. Any new people on here? Here are some free stuff. Free watch list, free trading course, free Discord. Come on by, say hi. Let's go take a quick peek at Tesla. got back towards 199. Not much, 2-point move on that one so far. I mean, if you count from earlier when we opened, yeah, nearly 3 points. Nvidia tried to get to 275, couldn't. It's reversing course now. Coin got demolished yesterday. Where's it at now? I'm really surprised at, you know, the price point this thing is even at. All right, guys, remember, I will be streaming again tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. Not leaving just now, but in a few more minutes, we'll be calling it a stream. So, any questions? Definitely take advantage. Ask away. All right, guys, before I forget, just a heads up again. We're going to be leaving in a minute. Get your evaluation account 80% off right now. Remember, one good thing about that 80% off is you can do it multiple times. Like you can go in there and get the same account, I think up to 10 times if you wanted to. It's cheaper than doing resets, to be honest. Because the resets, let's say you got yourself the $50,000 account. You could get 2 of these if you wanted. They're both going to come out to $30-something a month each, obviously. If you blow one up out the gates and you wanted to reset it, it costs you 85 bucks. It says it right here. Cost you 85 bucks. So it's cheaper. You could literally, for the price of a reset, be running almost three of these accounts at once every month. And that way you don't have to do a reset. You could just, trade one. If it blows, trade the next one, etc., etc. And then you can worry about doing resets if you wanted to the following month on something like that. I don't know. You can always play around with the idea. But regardless, you can use that coupon code for the 80% off up to 10 times, if I'm not mistaken. So just a heads up, this ends tomorrow. All right. So that $50,000 one, $3,000 profit, 2,500 trading drawdown. I think that sometime this year, I haven't done it yet, but sometime this year, I'm going to go try to get this one funded. I'm going to go try to do that one, to be honest. Sounds fun. Sounds fun to trade in that one, if you ask me. All right, just a heads up on that. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, you guys have all the contact info and the Discord. So swing by there and you can always ask any question you have. I think we're in store for a very grindy morning. So I'm gonna be hands off, to be honest. I'm gonna be hands off. If we break the days low, then maybe, and I can see it. I see it. I'm alerted to it. Maybe I'll come back and look for a trade to the downside. See if we can fill the gap. Back down to 392 on the SPY. Maybe we can get down there on the ES, back down towards those 3980s. I think that'd be something I'd be interested in. Outside of that, I think I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow and see what tomorrow holds, because yeah, not up for this grindy action, man. If you were able to get some scalps like Adriana did, the Beast, I think, had a real nice one as well earlier. Congrats, guys. Pat yourself on the back. Put those profits in your pocket where they belong, and trade carefully. Trade carefully. Definitely manage the risk. On days like this, if I get a couple good scalps in, and I go after something else, what I do is I tend to decrease the size on any of the follow-ups. That way, if I'm wrong on them, I don't give back too much of the profits on the day. All right, guys, once again, thank you very much for trading with me this morning. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I will be posting a video either today or tomorrow. Sunday. I will be posting a video on Sunday, okay? It'll be today's kind of recap. We'll kind of lessen it, and we'll send it on Sunday, and it'll be up on the YouTube channel, okay? So make sure to watch that and give it a thumbs up. Guys, thank you very much. I'll see you all tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. See you then. Peace.